My mother loved fashion and really enjoyed dressing up. Her passion definitely inspired me to pursue a career in fashion, and I currently work for a luxury jewelry designer. My sister, Ashley, on the other hand, went a more traditional route. She's always looked down on me, starting even in high school when I was preparing my portfolio for art school, commenting on how I get to color while she had to do actual work like studying maths. This behavior has never changed, which has caused us to be estranged. Before passing, my mother brought Ashley and me together to her safety deposit box to split up her jewelry. Ashley immediately wanted the biggest blingy pieces. This is where I may have been the idiot. I let her fight me for it, knowing she was arguing over costume jewelry. My mother had a few pieces of fine jewelry that were more dainty, so I let my sister think I was getting the smaller leftover pieces. She's always been preoccupied with getting the biggest and best for herself all our lives, so I let her think she was doing the same now. Fast forward to today. I was wearing one of my mother's pieces at my aunt's birthday party. She began to reminisce over the piece. I guess they bought it together, and it slipped out just how valuable the piece is. My sister overheard and was livid. She insisted on reviewing my pics and wanted to re-split up the pieces. I said no, and she had a meltdown at the birthday party. Our brother said I was an idiot for using my knowledge as a jeweler against the family, but he always takes her side, so I'm taking the issue here for a different opinion. I normally wouldn't care, but now a bunch of families poking their noses into it, and I'm torn between how I feel and what others say about me. I was an idiot for using my knowledge as a jeweler against the family. Oh man, if only there was a way for your sister to know you had this special knowledge about the value of jewelry and therefore ask you in advance. LOL, not the idiot. Your sister literally got the piece she wanted. Now she wants different ones because of dollar signs? Not your fault the bling blinded her, and now she's angry at missing out on cash. Going against the grain, but everyone's the idiot here. She picked her stuff and is now crying about the value. It's terrible, but such is the way of life. She needs to understand that her picks were hers, and now it's time to wear them with pride without looking at greener pastures around her neck. But please, do argue with me how you didn't take advantage of your sister when you two could have made an itemized report of everything, value or monetary-wise, and split it up from there. Because you do say that you knew what you were doing. Bruh, either just admit you swindled or argue a losing battle. I don't see how they took advantage of them. The mother was there and could have told her she was focusing on the wrong pieces if she'd wanted her to have the more valuable ones. OP, your mom was with you during the time you split the jewelry and never voiced objection to who got what. She knew you would treasure and appreciate the finer pieces, no matter their size. Your sister sounds incredibly immature and selfish. I wouldn't feel bad. Keep that jewelry. Enjoy it. Wear it. This is the best petty revenge story. I don't see how they took advantage of them. The part where OP literally says she fake fought them over the pieces she wanted to make them seem more valuable, while discreetly paying no attention to the pieces she knew were valuable, was kind of deceptive. Her sister literally could have asked her. OP is a jeweler, but in her sister's mind, she's lesser, and went with the idea that bigger means better. Her arrogance showed, and their mother didn't say crap to her. Sister is a greedy idiot. Petty revenge that glitters. So satisfying. Ask her why she never offered to resplit her picks back when she thought they were worth more than yours. She deserves what she got. Sorry your sibling relationship sucks. My wife and I have 5 children together, aged toddler to tween boys. I have 3 children with my ex-wife, nearly adult male, teen male, and tween girls. When I bought our current house, it had 4 bedrooms. I later renovated the basement to add another 2. My wife and I have 1 room. The 3 teenagers have a room each, and the younger boys share the other 2 rooms with various configurations over the years. As the younger boys get older, things will get more cramped, and we haven't ruled out having more kids. I also don't want to immediately take my older kids' rooms away the second they go to college, and maybe they'll stay local or not go at all. Because of this, I started looking at how I would add more bedrooms. The property our house is on is under 1 acre. Last year, I decided I would build a den in the backyard that could become the older boys' bedrooms. The build was finished a few weeks ago, and the boys have moved in. They have a small shared living space that includes a kitchenette and a shared bathroom, and they each have their own rooms. It's essentially a tiny house in our yard. The boys loved it, and we had a lot of fun working on the build together. My ex-wife, however, is less than pleased with the boys' new living arrangements. She has multiple safety concerns, as she thinks they're too far away if something happens, and that they'll feel like they could get away with whatever, as I can't monitor them at all. She also thinks it's unfair. They'll have to walk through a yard to get to and from their bedrooms to the house, even in adverse weather conditions. She feels as though I'm pushing the boys away by housing them in the backyard, and that it suggests I'm prioritizing my new family, while at the same time thinking giving them a cool den in the backyard is favoring them over their sister. I think her biggest issue is the one she didn't mention, which is worrying the boys will want to spend even more time at my house if they have more privacy and a great place to hang out with their friends. We no longer split custody based on our custody agreement, and for the last few years, the boys have lived most of the time with me. In contrast, our daughter alternates between our houses every 2 weeks. My ex is trying to make it out like I'm a massive idiot, but I don't feel like I am. However, in the past, I haven't always known when I've been an idiot, so maybe I'm missing something. Am I the idiot? Haven't ruled out more kids. What? Not the idiot, but please, stop having kids. Jesus, your ex doesn't get a say in how you manage your house. It's nice that you listen, but she's not in charge. Those boys are old enough to be held accountable if they mess up. And until then, have your trust. They're nearly adults. Right? LMAO? Like it's worked out relatively well so far for OP, but they haven't ruled out more kids. But where exactly are they going to put more kids? I hope OP makes good money. Also, we are well beyond the carrying capacity of this planet. Stop making all these extra people. If you have to replace yourself, fine. In my opinion, anything else is selfish and short-sighted. It's not just money and planet Earth, though. If he has 8 kids, his time, love, and attention is spread extremely thin already. Obviously, younger kids are going to need more attention, so having more means his older kids will be, at best, ignored, and at worst, parentified. People freak out at other people just living their lives if it doesn't comply with their narrow view of the world. The dude can afford a 4-bedroom place and can afford to build a guest house. He's showing consideration for his kids. Even when he's right, he still questions if he could be doing it better. He could be a secret monster. Anyone could. But from all appearances, he isn't. But some people are intolerant of different, even if it's harmless. This involves me, 27 male, my best friend, Derek, 27 male, his girlfriend, Molly, 26, and Molly's sister, Courtney, 28. Derek and Molly have been dating for over a year. Derek and I are roommates, so I've known Molly for a while. She's a nice girl, but believes she's always right. I find her a little annoying, but Derek loves her, and I support him, so I'm friends with her. She's a really good person, I will say, and comes from a great family, which includes her sister Courtney, who I've met once or twice. About a month ago, Derek asked me what I thought about Courtney. I said she was hot and really down to earth, and I've had good times whenever she goes out with us. Derek said Molly wanted him to ask me that. I said I wasn't interested in her due to her history, but she could have my number if she ever wanted to hang out or do something casual. Derek reported back to Molly, and the last few weeks have been awkward. Molly seemed standoffish. I bought her a beer and asked her what was wrong last week. She said she didn't like what I said about her sister. I said that her sister had been married before, was pregnant, and got divorced. It was just too much baggage for me. I thought it was all good after we talked. Last weekend, Molly hosted a game night at Courtney's house. She made a big to-do about this game night and asked if I would come. I told her maybe. I had other plans that night, so I might stop by. I went out for a drink and then decided to stay home and watch a game. At 8 p.m., Molly started texting me, asking when I was coming. I started ignoring her, and then she called like 3 times. Derek started texting me too, and I told him I didn't want to go over to Courtney's for some couples game night and wanted to watch the game. He said it was duo games only, so they needed me. I told him I had said maybe to begin with, so they should find other games. Molly called me one last time on Derek's phone. She sounded mad and was like telling me to come. I told her to screw off and leave me alone. Derek texted me yesterday and said I should apologize to her and her sister, as Courtney was the one without a partner and went and got the specific beers that I liked. And I said it wasn't my fault. I never gave a yes and told anyone to get me anything. And his girl should have respected that. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Well, maybe a bit for your attitude about a woman being divorced, but that's not the issue. The issue is, you never committed to attending, and you said you weren't interested in the sister, and then they set you up to be a couple at game night and got outraged when you didn't attend. Also, your friend was kind of an idiot for telling his girlfriend what you said regarding her sister. Even if girlfriend begged him to ask you, he should have said you only like her as a friend. You can have preferences, and people can react to those preferences. I don't want to date your sister because she's divorced, but I'm down for something casual is a preference. People are allowed to think less of you for having that preference. Being divorced is baggage. Divorce makes me pause in the sense that, yeah, I'm going to need the details. How willing are they to own up to any mistakes? Did they keep any mutual friends in the divorce? Does that affect your finances now? And I'm also wondering if the was pregnant before the divorce means that there's now a child in the picture. Totally legit to not want to be involved if there's a child. Courtney is interested in you, and instead of putting on her big girl pants and speaking to you, she's playing the teenage "do you like me" game with Derek and Molly as the go-betweens. This level of maturity would also make it a no for me. You've already told Molly that while you think she's fun and attractive, you're not interested. Now she and Derek are trying to force something by putting you in close proximity. I would address this with Derek first and let him be the one to relay that to Molly. If he's a good dude, he'll stop it. I can afford to take my wife on expensive vacations. She is just an incredible pain in the butt when I do so. I've taken my wife on some really amazing trips, in my opinion, and every single time, she spent the entire trip complaining. So I've given up. I now either let her plan our vacations with zero input from me, or I plan nice local stays for us. For example, I'll get us VIP concert tickets and a lovely hotel in the center to have a great evening. When she plans our vacations, they're pretty basic. She planned a trip to Hawaii, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but we didn't do anything great. I would have planned a helicopter trip to see all the volcanoes and jungles from the movies. We mostly stayed in Honolulu and saw Pearl Harbor. I honestly didn't realize it, but it has been 5 years since I took my wife somewhere that I would consider impressive. That was a 2-week trip to Iceland. She recently asked me why I took vacations with my friends and family that everyone talked about all year long, but when we went on vacation, it was a weekend in Branson. I told her that I just know she doesn't enjoy extravagant trips. She said she totally does. So I pointed out everything she said about all of our trips. I said it was disheartening to spend a month planning something great, only for her to spend the entire time complaining about it and then telling everyone how bad a time she had. She said I was an idiot for keeping score, and now I'm sleeping in the guest house. Am I the idiot? She planned a trip to Hawaii, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but we didn't do anything great. Everyone's the idiot here. You both sound like you complain about the other's planned vacations. Did you ask your wife what she would enjoy doing on vacation? Or did you just plan what you like to do? Why didn't you advocate for yourself on the vacation she planned to ensure you had some experiences you would enjoy? You both sound terrible at communication, but at least she's trying to ask for what she wants. They sound like those rich people who've been on so many expensive trips that nothing seems exciting anymore. They also sound petty and immature in their communication. I'd be really excited if I could ever go to Iceland, let alone Hawaii. I'll never be privileged enough to call that nothing special. They need a reality check. I, 22 male, am not gay. I'm not ace or bi. I'm straight. I just want to make that clear before people suggest I might be anything other than hetero. And obviously, nothing's wrong with being gay, but I'm not. Despite this, I haven't ever really been in a relationship or dated. I struggle a lot with women, so it's not much of a surprise to me, but it is to my family. My brothers are both in relationships. My oldest was already dating his wife when he was my age. My older brother has never had issues finding women to like him. The difference is that I'm a lot less physically attractive than they are, and I'm more introverted as a result of bullying throughout my entire life because of that. I've been told I'm ugly throughout my entire life, even by random people in passing. I've come to some level of peace with it. My family is constantly asking why I don't date, and I always avoid just outright saying, I'm ugly and girls don't like me. One of their biggest suspicions about me is that I'm gay. I don't know why, but since I've never dated in high school, that was always a question. I moved back in with my parents after graduating, and I'm planning on moving out soon, but my job in a different location isn't letting me start until November, so I'm working another job until then and saving money. I haven't done much since graduation, other than work, and my parents are upset that I don't have a social life right now. So my mom sat me down and tried to have a heart-to-heart with me about my situation. She told me she feels like I'm not making the most out of my life, and that she thinks that I'm afraid to be myself around them, stifling my ability to live. She said she wanted me to be happy and find friends and a partner. Then she said it didn't matter which gender the partner was, as long as I was happy. This came across as an accusation of me being gay. I asked what she meant by that, and she said she wanted me to know that if I lived a different lifestyle by myself, I didn't have to hide it, and she'd be happy as long as I brought someone home who I loved and who loved me. Again, she's calling me gay, so I shut that down. I kind of snapped as I'm so tired of it. I snapped at her that I'm not gay and that I don't need her to monitor everything in my life. I said it's none of her business why I'm single. Still, if she really cares that much, it's because I'm too ugly for women to want and date me. Since there's nothing that can be done about it, she needs to drop it. She got very upset and apologized. That evening, I got a call from my oldest brother demanding I apologize to my mom. He said she was trying to be supportive and I was a huge idiot to her. I said she was in the setting for the constant accusations and prying. Am I the idiot? I kind of snapped. You are the idiot. Your mom pretty much just told you that she loved you and she wants you to be happy and support you. Also, if you have that attitude, you will not find anyone. You don't have to be the most handsome man. You have to be nice, kind, ambitious, have self-confidence, etc. That's way more important than looks. My dude, I'm not going to tell you you're boring because I've never seen you, but many women date ugly men, usually because they're smart and/or funny or fun. Don't get into a cycle where you convince yourself that you're undateable. You will be mighty surprised in the end. Low self-esteem really turns people off. Mom was trying to express, I want you to be happy, and I want you to know that I love you and support you, no matter what. She doesn't deserve to be snapped at about that. She deserves an apology. Find a counselor to help you work on your self-esteem. Even if you are too ugly, ugly people have relationships worldwide. I, for example, can curdle milk just by walking past it with my face exposed, yet somehow manage to maintain a fulfilling relationship.